Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. And if this particular bike doesn't get your pulse racing, if you're into sports bikes, then I'm afraid there's no hope for you. This absolutely beautiful Suzuki GSXR 750 S-Rad has covered just 2,900 miles from new. If you take a walk to the back of the bike, you'll see that she's a 1997 R registration. And as I just said, if we look on the instrument panel, he's covered just 2,938 miles from new. And it's very easy to talk about classics and modern classics, and many people give motorcycles a classic title long before it's justified or due. But I don't think anyone could deny that the GSXR 750 S-Rad is a modern classic, and a bike that has helped to shape superbikes as they are today, and certainly the world of racing. So basically the S-Rad first came out in 1996, and it was completely redesigned from the original Suzuki GSXR 750s, which had a cradle frame. And the frame in the S-Rad was effectively a derivative of the frame and the Suzuki GP bike. And within that aluminium box frame sits the 750cc inline 4-cylinder engine, which develops around about 130 horsepower, and it's a real screamer. You know, it's all top-end Rush, and it looks and feels to ride every bit like the British and world superbike it was subsequently to become. I can't take my eyes off it. I think it's absolutely stunning. Going to do some close-ups for you as well, and we'll take our time over this because obviously we appreciate that you know, this is, if not a unique bike, certainly believe it's likely to be in the top 10 of any similar bikes in the UK. It really is something special. As you can see, the paintwork on the tank is absolutely immaculate. Completely unblemished, no scratches, no dents, no stone chips. And please bear in mind, this is a Suzuki, and produced at a time when I think it's fair to say that Suzuki's reputation for build quality was maybe not as strong as some of the other Japanese manufacturers. Honda, for example. But just look at that tail hump there, absolutely fantastic. The little spider comes free, but you can see all the decals are all stuck down how they should be. Panel gaps with the pillion cover is unerringly good for a Suzuki, I have to say. But again, there's not a single blemish on there at all, and that takes us round to the left hand side of the tank. Now on the left hand side frame spar of this GP inspired frame, we can see the chassis plate there, and you'll see in the top right hand corner the production date, which is September 1996. Do some close-ups inside the fairing there. Not sure how well it will show up on the camera, but you can see the back of the radiator. And we'll make our way round to the front of the bike. Even the mirrors, which so commonly on bikes of any age tend to get scuffed and scraped as they're taken through alleyways and rested up against garage walls. And there we have it, probably one of the most recognisable and iconic front ends of any sort of recent generation sports bike, with these fabulous Suzuki Ram Air direct induction tubes, forcing that air at high speed into the pressurised airbox. And as you can probably see, again, just a couple of little bits of dust landed on there. Not even a stone chip on the front mudguard there. And fork legs. No pitting or lacquer peel or anything like that on the fork legs. It's absolutely beautiful. Take you down to the front wheel and the brakes. I'm not sure how close I can get without it getting a bit silly really, but just to show you the cleanliness of the bobbins there on the floating discs. No corrosion, no build-up of brake dust. And also one of the things I think is quite nice is we've got all the original disc bolts and fork pinch bolts, so it is absolutely original, and they haven't been replaced with modern stainless steel pro bolt replacements or anything like that. And whilst they look absolutely fantastic, I think a bike of this age does warrant as much originality as possible, to the point where even the wheel itself, as far as we can ascertain, is original paintwork. There are just a couple, if you're being really fussy, you can probably make out just the odd little chip to the edge of the wheel there. And as we move to the rear wheel, you see the same on the rear. And we'll have a conversation with any future buyer about that. I'm in two minds. If you want something that's absolutely blemish free, as in, you know, out of the crate, sort of unregistered bike type quality, then arguably you might want the wheels repainted. But the marks on the wheels are so minor that in a way I feel it would be wrong to take the originality away from the bike. You know, obviously if the wheels were powder coated or painted, it's then not the original finish. But as I say, I think when you're looking at a bike of this age and low mileage, there is of course always going to be a mark of some kind. It has previously been used on the road, of course. Having said that, I still stand by the fact that it's probably one of the cleaner examples that you'll find. You can see the swing arm there, and the even the chain adjusters, not the usual caked in grease and rusty adjuster bolts.
can see underneath there the link pipe for the exhaust and the suspension linkage.
You'll see she's got a couple of aftermarket editions. The first one we can show you is the Carbon Hugger, which obviously if it is going to be bought to be ridden will just help keep the worst of the road grime off of that shock and underside of the tail unit. And up front we've got an uprated Öhlins steering damper. The standard steering damper was actually non-adjustable and was prone to encouraging head shakes and tank slappers if the bike was ridden too aggressively. So there's a few quid's worth there in that Öhlins steering damper. And more recently, as part of her shall we say recommissioning, she's also been fitted with a new DID gold chain, but that gives us an opportunity to again to do some close-ups. Just look how clean the sprocket nuts are, and again the chain adjuster and the swing arm still with its original tyre inflation sticker on the swing arm. Let's see how many of those have peeled off over the years. And again, just a little bit of surface rust on the adjusters on the rear shock there, but you can see clearly on the back of the engine there the engine number. So of course we've got matching frame and engine numbers. So just before we start her up, we'll just finish our close-ups on this right hand fairing from that iconic orange GSXR sticker. Right down to the belly section. And again inside I can show you the back of the radiator and the fan assembly. And even the exhaust downpipes in the front of the engine there. This is certainly a good enough quality bike to add to even the most discerning of collectors. I think you'd have to travel some distance to find a better example than this. And now we're going to start her up for you. So she's completely cold, as you can see there from the temperature there. And we'll just wind on a little bit of choke. And excuse the camera a second while we pull in the clutch. And away we go. Being a GSXR 750V, this is obviously a carb fed model, and recently the carburetors have been removed and ultrasonically cleaned. Just wind that choke off a little bit there. So sorry, yes, what was I saying? A GSXR 750V is obviously carb fed model. Carbs have been taken off, ultrasonically cleaned, with all the jets completely and fully cleaned out. She runs absolutely sweet as a nut. I have to say, when she first arrived, that wasn't quite the case, despite the fact that the carbs have been cleaned out. It did appear that she was still on her original spark plugs. So we've just fitted a set of Iridium spark plugs, and she's now absolutely sweet as a nut. That's choked right off now. See how cleanly she revs up. Just flip the throttle so you can hear that exhaust. Standard exhaust, of course. And there you have it. Whilst we'd like to stand and listen to this bike all day long, we've got other videos to do, but this is one of the longest videos we've done actually at Mid Essex Motorcycles, and I think that's testimony to the bike that's stood in front of us. So for all you collectors out there, just to summarise, this is a 1997 R registration Suzuki GSXR 750V with 2,900 miles on the clock, recently fully recommissioned, ready to ride, just been fitted with Michelin RS Power tyres. So if you want to ride it, it's got modern rubber, she's ready to go. Alternatively, she would look absolutely fantastic in anyone's collection, and this bike's available at 6495. I hope you enjoyed it.